A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Belgrade, Serbia. In a dramatic escalation of unrest, angry protesters clashed with police in multiple cities across Serbia on Saturday night, marking the fifth consecutive evening of violent demonstrations. The protests, sparked by widespread discontent with President Aleksandar Vučić's government, have seen thousands take to the streets, demanding early elections and an end to the president's 12-year rule. In the western town of Valjevo, a group of young men, their faces covered with scarves, targeted the offices of the ruling Serbian Progressive Party, SNS. They threw flares at the building, ultimately setting it ablaze. This act of defiance was met with a swift response from riot police, who deployed tear gas and charged at the demonstrators. The situation quickly escalated, with protesters retaliating by throwing bottles, rocks, and more flares at the police. Witnesses reported scenes of chaos as police attempted to regain control of the streets. The unrest was not isolated to Valjevo. Similar clashes erupted in the capital city, Belgrade, where protesters gathered in droves to voice their frustration against the government. The protests began in response to a tragic incident last November when the roof of a railway station in Novi Sad collapsed, resulting in the deaths of 16 people. This catastrophe ignited outrage over systemic corruption and negligence within the government, prompting calls for accountability and reform. What began as a demand for an investigation into the collapse has evolved into a broader movement against the Vučić administration. As tensions flared, the Serbian Interior Ministry faced accusations of police brutality, with reports of violence against protesters emerging from Belgrade and Novi Sad. However, the ministry has denied these claims, insisting that law enforcement acted within the bounds of the law to maintain public order. In a show of solidarity, Russia has pledged support for Vučić, a pro-Moscow leader, stating that it would not remain silent in the face of unrest in Serbia. The Russian Foreign Ministry emphasized the need for stability and security in the region, asserting that the police were justified in their actions to control what they termed violent mobs. Amidst the turmoil, Michael O'Flaherty, the Council of Europe's Commissioner for Human Rights, expressed grave concerns regarding the use of excessive force by police. He called on Serbian authorities to de-escalate the situation and to refrain from arbitrary arrests. In a post on Instagram, President Vučić responded to the escalating violence, labeling it as an expression of total weakness and vowing to punish the bullies. He has consistently dismissed the protests as a foreign conspiracy aimed at destabilizing his government, further inflaming tensions between his administration and the demonstrators. The protests have drawn a diverse crowd, with citizens from all walks of life joining in solidarity against perceived injustices. While the demonstrations initially remained largely peaceful, the emergence of counter-protests organized by pro-government supporters has added a layer of complexity to the situation. As the unrest continues to unfold, the streets of Serbia remain a battleground for those fighting for change against a backdrop of political strife. Demonstrators have targeted not only the offices of the SNS, but also the headquarters of coalition partners, such as the Serbian Radical Party, as they express their discontent with the ruling regime. In the wake of the protests, the Serbian public is left grappling with the ramifications of the ongoing turmoil. The tragedy of the railway station collapse has become emblematic of deeper issues within the country, leading to a growing demand for transparency, accountability, and a shift in leadership. As the situation develops, the world watches closely, awaiting the outcome of these historic protests that have captured the hearts and minds of many Serbians. With each passing day, the resolve of the protesters seems to strengthen, as they continue to call for a brighter future for their nation amidst the chaos. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.